How you doing? You are so cute. Oh, are you a good girl? Here, high five. Good job. Are we making a video today? We're gonna make a video today on how we groom up our Alliedoodle, our labradoodle, Allie Mae. Allie is 12.75 years old. We say that because she's going to be 13 on January 4th. That must have been a good treat. She is a spry old lady. So she has really pretty wavy, curly, fine, thick fur hairs. So she definitely needs to be groomed on a regular basis. I think she ran away because she knows that we're going to be grooming, which is kind of funny. She's hiding because she does not enjoy getting groomed, but she's very good at it. So that's a plus. Like, she's done this for her whole life, and I've been grooming her for 12 years now. So have a lot of experience, and I keep getting questions from a lot of you, like different friends, family, people who follow online. So thanks for the interest. Thanks for the question. And what I have been meaning to do is take a video that actually shows the different detailed steps. A lot of times I'm able to just capture like the bigger steps, like, hey, here's us, you know, shearing the sheep, shaving off all of the thick fur with the trimmers, but not getting into those details, or not capturing really great footage of it. So my goal here with this video today is to try to capture decent footage for you. So things like, how do I groom her ears, like around the fine details of her ears? How do I groom around her mouth, her paws, her privates? Those are the main detail areas that are not easy to figure out, especially if you're newer to DIY grooming, and they take practice and just figuring out what works for you and your dog. It's not easy because they don't generally enjoy it, and she is definitely one of those dogs. Like, she's really easygoing. She's a very cheerful, happy dog, but she does not like being groomed. So I figured this might be a helpful video. So the cut I'm going to do today on her is going to be very basic. So you could really groom any dog this way, I assume. I'm just going to cut her down, like cut her down to a very minimal level. So shave all of it off. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm not going to leave her legs long because she needs a clean cut. And I am not a person that, I don't usually comb her. That's a good habit to get into if you have a young dog, so they get used to it. She hates it. I figure I'm going to pick my battles, and I don't usually comb the fur. Usually if it gets matted, I cut it out. And certainly when she's had long fur like she has now for a while, it's time. So I just cut it all down, I shave it all back so it's nice and clean. We can see things. If she's got bumps or scratches or something going on, we can see it, so it's very healthy, kind of airs things out. And then we don't have to deal with the mats because everything is clean. So I'll be doing it in two parts. The first part is all the details, which is the hardest part. So I love to just get that out of the way. She generally hates it the most, so that's helpful for her too. I might as well use her patience at the beginning on the things that are hardest, and then it gets easier for both her and I as we go along. So I'll be doing all those detail areas. And then the second part is just big bulk shaving, shearing off all of the fur all around. If I didn't answer any questions in this video at any point, please drop them below. Please let me know. I'm trying to do my best to capture this since it is a frequently asked about topic. All right, supplies that you're gonna need. You do need to invest in a decent trimmer. So I have this Andes trimmer. I think they're at least a couple $100. They're well worth the investment if you think about the cost to take your dog to a groomer. I always put a blade on it that has this porcelain backing. My understanding is it's a little bit higher quality of a shave with that. I'm not sure how or why, but it's the blade we have, and it's been working great for years. So I always oil that up once I'm ready for that. And I also have a little thing that I put water in and a paper towel handy, because as I'm doing the trimming, it will get hot. The blade will heat up, and then I take it off. I unplug everything. I drop it in the water to cool it down, dry it off, and then resume cutting. The first tool you're going to need is a really good set of cutting shears. So these are the type of scissors you use to cut hair with. And this is a particular set that I did get in like a dog grooming department. I think I got them at Fleet Farm. This brand is Conair Pro Dog. Look at, she's got her back to me. She's like, I am not having this, Mom. I've had 2 pairs of these in the 12 years that we've been doing this. This is my second pair. They really work great. You'll notice on the end, they are blunt so that they don't, you know, poke or cut or scrape anything. So they're really safe in that way. They're also extremely sharp. So they do a great job of efficiently trimming everything. And you really need these for those detail areas. Last but not least, you've got to have some treats. Keep them motivated. Another note as far as what you wear, I have like a slippery shirt and pants on, like windbreaker pants, because the fur doesn't stick to the clothes as much. Otherwise, I've had issues in the past where I literally can't get the fur out, and I'll try to shake it off. And even if I run it through the wash a few times, it just stays in the clothes, and it can ruin your clothes. The other thing I need to try more is like blowing myself off. We have an air compressor out in the garage that I might use to blow myself off too afterwards. But it really, especially if you're sitting with the dog and you're in the fur with them, it can really ruin your clothes. So I always make sure I have the right clothes on. She has just super long fur going on. You can barely see her eyeballs. She's just a mess. And she's got this long beard going on. And she's just this furry, fluffy bear right now. Lay. Good. I've got her ear here, and what I am doing is I'm feeling for the edge of it in between the fur hairs. So right here where my thumb is, that's the end of the ear cartilage, and this is all fur that I can cut. So I am literally using that as a guide, and I'm cutting along the edge very carefully. This takes practice and patience. I used to cut her entire body because she refused to let me have a buzzing trimmer next to her. Well, we got over that. So I have a lot of practice. I would just say, you know, be easy on yourself, take your time, and double check. I mean, it's kind of those like measure twice, cut once things, because you certainly don't want to injure them. But you also started to get a feel for it as you go. Her ear has some hairs inside of it, so I'm just going to very carefully, quickly go in and trim. You're doing good, sweetheart. Go in and trim. So now that is a cleaner ear. So she won't have weird hairs that get in the way and are unhealthy. Up here we've got some hairs that could be cut. And then the ones inside, I just leave them, whatever. She won't notice, no one will notice. Who cares? Dogs are great that way, they don't care. So you can see I've got a nice cut on this. I'm just going to get rid of some of these other little stray pieces. And it does not have to be perfect. So that is a relatively clean cut ear. And now these fur hairs are all goofy at the bottom. So I'm going to trim those next. Here, you stay still. You stay. Good girl. If you're newer to this, one thing that would be a nice safety is you get a feel for the different parts of their body, like the ear and the mouth and stuff, so you don't have injury issues happening where you accidentally cut them. Is to use a small fine comb, just a real basic plastic comb, as a shield. And what you do is you just kind of comb through. I don't have a good example because I don't have one on me, but comb up through the hair and then use it as a guard and just cut along it. And that works really well. I used that for years as I practiced with her. So I am not focusing on any of this long hair because this is all going to get trimmed with the big trimmer, the Andy's trimmer. I just want to get a clean cut along that ear line. Now we're going to move to the mouth. So I'm trying to get the little fuzzies that I know that the trimmer won't go after, like these kind of things. And then you got to really be careful of their lip. So you're looking in here, like where are the teeth, where's that edge of that lip, and there's fur that usually grows and it kind of curls under. So I'm just gently pulling up on it before I go in and cut. Because again, I want to be really careful not to cut her. Good girl. Stay. Hold still. Good girl. Good girl. Good job, Allie. Good. This is one of the hardest areas to groom. And you got to be really patient and kind of convey a sense of calm to them if you can. I'm not always the best at that. Because it is very delicate. Hold still. Hey, hey. Such a good girl you are. Okay. All right, so that's looking a lot better. All right, well, I got her here. I'm going to work on the eyes a little bit. So what I'm going to do, the corner of her eye, so it's nice and clean. I'm going to trim up her eyebrows a little bit too, because we do a little bit of eyebrow action on her. Make them a little shorter, get the eyelashes with it. Good girl, baby. Good job. Good job, sweetie. That a girl. Something else I do on her that, you know, optional, of course, like other people may not do, but I like it on her, is I try to make a line here. So right here, like a kind of like a cheekbone, and then a line there already. So I kind of go like that. Just so she has, I don't know if you can see that, but that way she has a line here that looks nice. And then as I'm cutting, I don't cut anywhere on top of that line. It gives her face a little contouring. Good treat. Good girl. Come here. We're certainly not done. Come here. Good girl. Bang. Bang. Good. Good job. Now mommy's going to rotate you around. Good girl. Stay. Good. No, you stay. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. Good job. Good girl, Alliedoodle. All right, we've got her topsy-turvy. And the way I do this is I get her to do the play dead trick, and then we roll on her side. And this is not her favorite thing, but it works really well because I have her cradled between my feet and my legs. And then that way I'm able to get in here and trim up, you know, her private region and just tidy up some things that are a little more, like her tummy here is more sensitive. The furs are very fine. And that way I can make sure things are clean before later on I end up shaving all of this with the trimmer. So again, this is all about feeling with your fingers and making sure you know exactly where the skin is so you don't cut too close. That's really all there is to it. I'm going to try to keep her calm because she doesn't really like this. Being topsy-turvy, no one would like that. Try to be efficient. Good girl, Allie. Good girl. Good job. Good job. Be really careful, okay? Mommy's being real careful. Yep. Good job. And I usually make multiple passes around here because things can get a little bit, some of the fur hairs are stuck together, and I want to make sure I take a little bit off and then a little bit more off. I don't cut too low right away, just so I'm being really careful. Good girl, Allie. Great job, sweetheart. Good. Looks good, sweetie girl. So nice and clean. And keep you nice and healthy. Yeah. All right. So that's looking pretty good to me down here. Just feeling with my fingers if there's any other like areas that would be good for me to trim. Certainly if you feel any mats, you want to trim those out, because the trimmer can only do so much. It's not going to deal with all mats, obviously, because that's kind of like a bump in the road. There, nice and clean, and that way she can get to this better and clean it up better when she cleans herself, obviously. Just nice and gentle. Good girl, sweetie. Good job. Okay, so now that I have her on her back, I'm also going to take advantage of her paw being right here. So you can see on her paw, there's a lot of long fur hairs that have grown in between the toe pads, and that is not good because things can get caught on it. You can get mats, and in the winter, especially with a doodle, the snow likes to ball up inside here and around their feet. So the less hair we give the snow to grab onto, the better off she'll be. So what I'm going to do is start cutting that and doing my best to trim where possible without, of course, cutting her. It's going to cut around it, and then I'm going to start cutting around the base of the foot. This is convenient for me while she's on her back because she absolutely hates having her toes touched from getting trimmed or cut with a scissor. She just hates it. So whenever I can work with her and she has more patience, I'm going to take advantage of that moment accordingly. So I'm just pulling this up and out, pulling these fur hairs out, and just whatever I can get with a straight line with the shears, I'm gonna do that. Good girl, Allie. Good job. The nice thing with paws and legs on a dog is that there isn't a lot of, you know, flappy cartilage or skin. Generally it's pretty straightforward when you're cutting, because if there's some longer fur there that you're usually not anywhere near the skin, it's harder to make a mistake, which is kind of nice. You can just kind of cruise and go. There, so I feel good about that. I feel like that's a lot more tidy than it was. Just gonna see if I can pull any more fur out. Yeah, I got a little more out that I can get after. Yeah, just like that, nice and clean and tidy. One thing you're not gonna see from me in this video is her nails getting trimmed. I actually do not do that. I opt out of doing that myself because she has black claws on every foot. And I just don't feel comfortable. Some people do. There's ways to do it. I just would rather, I bring her in to have a professional groomer trim her and handle it that way. Oh, good job, Allie. You get a treat. Good job. You show everybody your toes, huh? Yeah. So fun. Look at how tiny your toes are. They are so tiny compared to your legs. Do you have tiny toes, huh? Tiny toes. All right, we've made it through part 1. High five. Yeah, good job. Now we get to do the more fun part. But before we do that, let's check your pooper. Come here. Up. Come. Come. Mommy needs to check your butt. Come here. Or your bum. I'm just gonna trim a little bit around this area so it's easier with the trimmer to get in there, and that there are no mats around her little bum. Yeah, good job. Just kind of tidy that up a little bit here. Prep it. Okay, what's it doing? That girl. You're fine. Nope, nope. Stay. Hey, stay. Allie. Are you giving me a look, huh? Come here. You're fine. You're just fine, little one. You gave me the stink eye for trimming your butt. I don't blame you. Here, got one more. All right, we're on to part 2. So we're gonna take the Andy's trimmer and go ahead and slide that blade in, and then you always want to use oil to lubricate it, just like any normal trimmer, and so we'll get it running. Well, actually I'll put it in there first. Run it a little bit, get that lubricated. And we are ready to rock and roll. First of all, I always make sure I bathe her before I do any of this. So she was bathed this week, and that'll make it so much easier to trim. Second of all, I always trim into the grain. So her fur is growing that way, and I'm going to shave this way. So into that grain. And really at this stage, it's wherever the dog lets you cut. You know, they move around all the time, so it's just whatever you can get, you grab it and you go. Still. Good girl. Still. Still. Good girl. Good girl. Let's take a break. Treat, huh? Oh, yeah. Good job. Good job, Allie. Good job. You're doing a good job, huh? Yeah, you do a good job. Oh, single full kisses. That was very nice. How you doing? Allie, what do you think? How far are we through? Would you say we're about 65% of the way through? I don't know, Mom. I don't care. I hate doing this, Mom. Yeah, you're doing great. All right, so now we've got Allie in a play dead position here. And I haven't mentioned it before, but she only has 3 legs. She's missing a leg here. So this also is really helpful, so she doesn't have to stand all the time when I need to get underneath her tummy and in the other areas of her legs on her side. So she's comfortable, and this gives me good access into these parts that I haven't been able to get into. Good girl. Good girl. Good. You can see we've got a lot of it trimmed now. She's looking good, starting to transform. Ears are nice and clean. And now I'm starting to get to her legs. And one thing that I found is really handy is a lot of times you'll find mats on the legs, and I just start feeling through and trimming those with the shears as well. Now sometimes I will go with the grain, like you notice now I'm going with it and not against it, because it's faster to get a big hunk off, but it will not be as fine or close of a cut. So when I'm going through a lot of fur, sometimes I opt to go that way just so I can start to make a dent in it, and then I come back and refine it after. You can see, look at this, I trimmed up her tail. That's kind of funny. She don't have much of a fluffy tail anymore. Getting it all cleaned up. She does not like me trimming her legs. But this is actually going pretty darn well considering. Doesn't have to look perfect. That's the nice thing about doodles. They have messy coats anyways, with lots of texture, and the dog doesn't care. So I'm just trying to get hunks of fur off as best I can. Oh, you don't like that. Okay, I hear ya. Thanks for telling me. Yeah, we're hitting a mat. On a mat on top of your foot. Oh, stay. Good girl. See, there's a little mat right here. You're fine. You don't need to growl. Hey, you're fine. It's okay. Let's work on this, okay? Good job. So we're just going to keep trimming gobs of fur, which might seem tedious, but actually it goes pretty quick once you get in a rhythm. And if this is less agitating for her than hearing the trimmer buzzing, I'm all for it. There's a mat right here. Terrific, we just got rid of it. Good job, baby. You're doing great. Hi. You're doing great. I know you're cranky. I know it. You're kind of cute when you're cranky. Do you know that? I love you. Yes, I do. We'll take a break. You're good, sweet. Almost done, huh? Yeah. Yeah, she's almost done. How cute are you, huh? Are you very cute? You got some weird long fur still right there? Yeah, a little awkward. Do you look like a whole new doggy? Yeah, it's starting to look like a whole new doggy. You're fine. You stay. Allie, are you all done? Did you finish? Good God, Mom. I hope so. Good girl. Did you do a good job, huh? Did you do a good job? Yeah, look at that. Looking pretty good. So now I'm just checking her to see if there's any weird gobs that I missed. You know, it's a little rough on the edges and her legs are not real smooth or anything, but I don't care. I think she looks good enough. Good enough is perfect when you're grooming a dog. It's not like we're enrolling in a dog show. It's not like anybody's gonna care. And we happy, huh? Are we happy to be done? Happy to be done, Mom. Yeah, okay. Well, that's it, folks. Do you want to say thank you, everybody, for watching my video? Thanks, everybody. Bye. Did you lose 6 pounds of fur?